Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Doroteja from Croby Patterns and today we are going to be talking about how to prevent injuries when crocheting and knitting. So many of you would probably think, well, how in the world could I get an injury while crocheting or knitting? I'm not doing anything dangerous, and you're absolutely correct. Crocheting or knitting is not dangerous, at least it shouldn't be. Just make sure you don't leave any sharp objects like needles, hooks or scissors on weird places like on the sofa, on the bed, or randomly leaving them at the bottom of your bag, and you're good to go. So, today we are going to be talking about injuries that can happen during crocheting and knitting. It might take a little while to start noticing the pain, but it can cause serious damage and prevent you from knitting, crocheting, sewing, typing, or doing anything to do with your hands. If you're like me, crocheting or knitting hours upon hours at a time, you will probably start noticing little aches and pains in your fingers, wrist, lower part of your arm, shoulders, neck, and even your back. They might take a little while to build up, but there is a good chance you will notice the pain after a few hours of crocheting without taking a break. And this is not an uncommon thing among crocheters and knitters. We can sit at one place and don't move for 3 hours or more without even noticing how much time has passed. There are a couple of tricks you can follow while crocheting and exercises you can make right before you start or once you already feel the pain. But a good rule to follow is once the pain is already there, it is good to take a break and continue once you feel better. Past a couple of hours or days later, just to make sure the pain doesn't come back. A little disclaimer before we start with everything. Please have in mind I am not a professional, I am not a therapist, I am not a doctor. However, I researched the topic in detail because of my own back problems and hand muscular tension, and those are the tips and exercises that work for me. So I hope they will help you as well. I will leave the timestamps in the description box below. There you will find all the information about the video and the link to the blog post, as well as the parts of the video that you can click on and hop over to the segment you want to watch or rewatch, especially the parts with the exercises. Those you can follow over and over again when necessary, and make sure that your crocheting and knitting is pain-free and enjoyable and something you like to do and you do it easily, because you know it's not fun when you feel uncomfortable or you're in pain. But before we start with today's video, let me tell you more about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like you and me. They offer classes on fine art, illustration, design, photography, productivity, music, freelancing, and many more. I used to watch movies and TV shows while crocheting, but now I really enjoy watching Skillshare classes and learning new skills instead. Each class is divided into small parts, which means you can pause the class and come back to it later, or rewatch parts you want to listen to again. Skillshare is meant specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they are always launching new premium classes. Skillshare's entire catalog of classes now offers subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Dutch. And I recently started a class called Style Your Space, Creative Tips and Techniques for Interior Design by Emily Henderson. I'm just totally inspired by Emily's design style, and I am learning so much about interior design and how the space should look and feel. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. First, I will share 5 tips and then I'm going to show you 7 simple exercises. The great about these tips is that all tips slightly intertwine. This means you will very easily follow several tips at once or even all of them at the same time. So the tip number 1 is to take breaks and to take them more often. So this is probably the hardest but the most obvious one. Take short breaks, ideally every half an hour, but more realistically probably every hour, 45 minutes. Breaks does not have to be very long. It is enough if we change the way we sit, stretch a little or take a little walk. Even 30 seconds will make a big difference and help you in the long term. Okay, so tip number 2 is to keep good posture. It is easy to start leaning forward, lifting shoulders up, and bringing your work closer to your eyes so you can see it. But this is making your shoulders very tense. So the head and the neck should be aligned with the rest of your body. So you want to bring everything back a little bit, relax your shoulders, look away from your work every once in a while, and be more mindful of your crocheting and knitting in general. So that will help you a lot and will not make so much stress on your upper part of your body. So this one is probably my favorite one. It is to support the heavier crochet or knit projects. So what does this mean? So this one is closely connected to the previous one. When you are working on larger crochet or knit projects, like sweaters, blankets, scarves, or sometimes even smaller objects like baby clothes, the projects can get quite heavy. So they don't usually feel heavy when you hold them in your hands for just a few seconds to feel the weight, but they get heavy when you are holding them hours upon hours and working on them. So what happens is you start to lift the shoulders and elbows up again, closer to your ears, and that affects your neck, shoulders, and your back. So the best way is to crochet behind the table or use a pillow if you are sitting on the sofa, bed, or floor. That will help you with the weight of your project, help you keep the elbows down by your side, and release the tension on your shoulders, neck, and back. The next one is the light. The light should be your best friend. If you cannot see what you're doing, of course, you're going to bring the work closer to your eyes. That will affect the posture, and with that, your whole upper body will get tense. You can fix this problem by working in good light condition, preferably close to the window to get as much natural light as possible, close to the light source inside, and of course using light colors with your projects. Blacks and dark blues are not the best choice here, especially not for beginner crocheters and knitters. Also, fibers where you can see and feel your stitches clearly are great and will help you here quite a lot. The last one is to move around. You don't have to sit the whole time. Put your yarn under your armpit or into your pocket and walk around. Sit the first hour on the sofa, walk for a little bit, then sit behind the table, walk a little bit more and sit for a while on a bed. Just don't stay in the same position too long and you are good. Now I'm going to show you 7 exercises that will help you prepare your creative hands for a long, enjoyable crochet or knit session. So let's start! And those pauses and breaks I mentioned before, just stand up for a second and shake your hands and relax your shoulders. Upper body stretches have numerous potential health benefits. Stretching can reduce tension, relieve pain, increase mobility, reduce risk of muscle and joint injury, improve posture, and make the whole process of crocheting or knitting more enjoyable. Alright my friends, that would be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video tutorials and vlogs about crocheting and fiber arts, consider subscribing and turning on post notification. I will be back with a brand new video very soon. But until then, stay creative, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!